Hello again. In this video, we're going to go over how to clean the data. So it comes out here, in this particular case, looks like we've got about 4,300 and so lines of data, which is not altogether uncommon. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all of this stuff up here at the top. So I'm just going to left click on these rows, come down through row 9, right click on it, hit delete, and then I'm going to get rid of these. Just select these files, hit the delete button, these little pictures, these GIFs or whatnot, and just hit that. And then finally I'm going to scroll down all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to select this last row here where it says the date and timestamp, page 1 of 1. I'm going to delete that as well, and then scroll back up to the top. And so kind of the first thing that I'm going to do is you can see up here that we've got all of these rows that are kind of scrunched together. So to do that, we're going to have to unwrap and unmerge a lot of these cells. It's just the way that the data is produced. And the best way to do that is to move your cursor over here over column A, left click on it, and then click on the merge and center, or you're going to unselect it. And you're going to see it moves like it moves it out, so it expands those columns over, right? So you're going to do the same in E. You're going to do the same in H, column H. Do the same in column P or Papa. And finally in S or Sierra. And so we're going to scroll back up and you'll see what happens here. So I'm going to select the whole sheet over here in this top left button. Hit the wrap text, so I'm going to unwrap the text, and then it expands it all out. And then finally, well, not finally, but just to get us to where we can use or see what's going on, while it's all selected here, you can click on any one of these where you got the arrows going to each side. You just double click there and it expands it out. And so we're going to delete every empty column except for row B or Bravo. Okay, so I've got C and D selected, delete that. D and E, delete that. E all the way over to K, and delete that. F and G as well. And just for a good measure, I'm going to delete these 2 columns over here. You don't really need to, but just thought I'd have it. So what I want to do is I want to separate the time and the date. So I'm going to have to go data to column on this. So while I've got this column selected, go up here to data, and then, text to column is what it's called. And you're going to click on text to column. It's going to bring you up this dialog box. It's a wizard. And we want to select fixed width, hit the next button, and when you do that, actually go back. So fields are aligned in columns with spaces between each field, which is such the case. If you were to scroll all the way down here, we're going to see spaces in between 2017 and the time. So this is what we want to select. So we go next. We shouldn't have to mess with this a whole bunch. If you were to scroll down here, it would show you. It would put this line in between, which just demonstrates that that's where it's going to segregate the data. And hit next again, hit the finish, and there you go. So we don't need column headers up here at all, or labels, but I do like to kind of scroll down and make sure, because I've seen it kind of get a little loopy on me. Maybe I just had a mistake and I hit the wrong selection up there, but I just want to make sure that I've got enough. I've got my date and times are clearly separated, which in this case it looks like that's accurate and true. So a couple more steps here to clean the data that I like to do. First of all, I'm going to reselect the sheet again. Go back to my home. I'm going to fill the color with just get rid of all of the extraneous shading. Even out my font, so I usually go with Calibri 10, and then double click on my rows and my columns, and then finally you're going to want to save the file. So you're going to put it in a location that's convenient for you. I put it in my H drive so that I don't lose my data But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'll just go ahead and drop it on my desktop and call this, I believe it was April 15th through the 19th. And there you have it. I'll see you in the next video.